Alright guys, today we'll be talking about these very simple things we have in Lumion. Okay, the first thing we'll be doing today is talking about some materials and the difference in all these materials in Lumion, especially when it comes to Lumion 12.5 and Lumion 10. That's what we'll talk about today. Welcome everybody to, again, my name is David Wokocha. Some people call me Dave Designs, and today let's talk about it. So the first one we'll be talking about today is the asphalt. Now, the asphalt material, there are only two asphalt materials which will give you a realistic view. Now, what do I mean by making your project look realistic? There are a lot of people who will be, making use of, let's say, the difference between this material, this asphalt material, and these two polygon asphalt material. Now, if you're making use of Lumion 10, Lumion 10 to Lumion 8, you won't find these two asphalts. You can't find these two asphalts. You have to import it, download and import it before you can find these two asphalts. All right. But if you're making use of Lumion 11 or Lumion 10, you can find only this asphalt, this which is the Polycity 1 asphalt. But if you're making use of Lumion 11 and Lumion 12, you will find this. Now, the difference between all these materials are just how realistic they look. When you make use of this asphalt, you can look how white it is looking, and there is no depth, displacement, or relief in this material. So that's how you know the difference. Let's just say when you want to download movies in anywhere you want to download the movies, there is 4080, there is 4020, 360, there is even 1020, if I'm correct, 1080, and that's where you get a 2K. That is how these materials are in Lumion. The higher the resolution, that is how your realistic design is going to be. So when you want to make use of these materials, especially the asphalt, and want it to look very, very realistic, don't forget, make use of, okay, let's say, make use of this Polycity, make use of this asphalt, and also you can make use of the wet one. This is the wet asphalt, and this polygon asphalt. They give the very and best polygon you can have, the best realistic materials you can have. Okay, now, not only by using the materials, you also have to add a lot of things in it to get the best out of these materials. Now, let's highlight this asphalt again, and I'm going to show you something. When you highlight the asphalt, there's something called colorization, relief, reflectivity, glossiness, displacement, and map scale. Now, in these things now, they play a very vital role in your Lumion. Let's say colorization. When I used this material, the first thing I noticed is that it was very, very bright. Do you understand? Like, it was so bright that, like, I don't want it because I'm going to be using the daytime rendering. So when the sun is hitting on this material, I don't need it to start shouting. I have to add or increase or reduce the colorization. So this box is called the color box, and under this color box, that is where you can move anything you want to move, change everything you want to change. Okay, that's just the thing. Thank you so much, architectural. Thank you so much. So let's continue and focus on what we are doing today. This colorization, I brought it down from the white to the black. Do you understand? So when you bring it down to this black color, that is when you increase this colorization up to 3, or you can bring it down to almost to 3 to darken it up and make it look, a bit good. The next thing, let me take all these things backwards the way they are meant to be so that we'll see the difference. All these things are going to be working on let's allow this map scale to stay the way it is. When we have the relief, okay, the relief is to add roughness to your material. I know in the asphalt, we need to add some roughness in our asphalt. So what will you do? We go to relief. Relief, another name for relief is roughness in your material. Don't take it too much. Don't make the language to be very, very long. Give it that name as roughness. So to increase that roughness, I have to take it to close to, let's just say leave it at 0.9. yeah, 0.9, and to add a bit of reflection, because when you come to what's the name, a an asphalt, like when you go to your roads, you notice that there is a bit of reflection when there is sun. So what do? You just add some reflection. So we call it reflectivity in Lumion. So let's say we put it to 0.6. And another thing we have to do here is glossiness. Now, what is the meaning of this glossiness? Let's just say where you are rubbing some oil on your design, glossy white, glossy brown, glossy this. That's just the meaning of glossiness. So you need to add that kind of something. It's not reflecting, but when you look at it, there's a bit of reflection in that material. So what do we do? On the reflection, we just add, on the glossiness, we just add some glossiness to our material. You can see what's just happening. So just make sure you just add all these things and your material is going to be standing out. So now I added my relief, but if you notice, I did not make it very, very thick. So now let's make it very, very thick. I start going. Now you can see what is happening here. Let me take it closer. You can see what is happening here. Let me go back. Let me take this material backwards. Now let's take it out and let's bring it in again. You can see what's happening here. You see, it's looking thick and very, very realistic. Like it have that roughness, which I'm talking about. So to make this roughness to have a depth, like when you're looking at it from a distance, you will think that this material, there is some shadows in this material. That's when we come for the displacement. That's the meaning for the displacement. To add like, a depth to that your material. So let's say, let me go closer. Now look at what will happen in this material when I increase the depthness, the displacement. You can see the potholes are making a very, very good depth there. So don't forget, add your displacement, especially in your asphalt. Okay, even though that our clients are not going to be seeing all these little things which we do, make sure you add it in your design. After doing this is all you need to do in your asphalt to make it look real. You can come to the weathering and add some little weatherings, but you don't need that for now. Okay, now let's go over to this one. This is our pavement here. Some people will call it interlocking. So let me show you how you can also get this realistic interlocking in your Lumion. Okay, so let me cancel this because I don't want to spoil what I was doing there. I highlight this interlocking and I'll have to change it back. Or follow all my steps in case you miss your road. Let's say you want to change this material to what it was before it was imported. When you just come to the new, click on the new, and and you select imported materials, it will take it back to what it was, like the material it was when you imported it to Lumion. You understand? So that's what I'm going to be doing and show you how I got this kind of very good and clean material in my Lumion. Everything which I used here is in my Lumion. I do not go out to import any material. So in Archicad, I usually make use of mesh. I usually make use of mesh for my terrain. So that's why you could see these colors are green. Let's now do what I had before. So the first thing is when you highlight this terrain and you go for the outdoor, because we are doing what is concerned with the outdoor, not what is in the indoor, because indoor materials are different from the outdoor materials, even though they have the same name. So we go to the outdoor and we locate the stone. Go for the stone material. Don't go for any other material because you're looking for something that is going to be very, very good. So for the stone material, go to page 2 and you'll also notice what I told you earlier from the asphalt. You could notice that some materials are 2040. Now, this 2040, yes, they have depth. Yes, they are very, very good, but they are not as realistic as materials which are polygon, that have that tag called polygon. Even when you check at the objects, any material which you see that is not the normal material, but they have some polygon on it, those materials are the realistic materials. Those materials are the materials which you need to use for your Lumion project. So now we have these polycity materials. You can see them. These are 2K. The other ones, when you go closer, you can find 3K. You can even find almost 3K. Yes, you can see 3K here. So this 3K is very realistic. These ones are the ones which use for pebble stones, you know, those sidewalks. When you walk in UK, you can find those kind of stones. But the one which you're going to be using for today is this one here, the sidewalk O2. When I click on this sidewalk O2, it will give me what Lumion already gave me. Now you can notice that it is looking smaller than a real life interlocking. It's looking smaller than a real life interlocking. We have to make it look bigger. We have to make it look bigger. Sorry guys, today is not all about answering any question. From tomorrow, I'm going to be answering some questions. So I just want to let you know some simple tips for tonight before everybody is going to be sleeping. I will still be dropping this video back in my YouTube so that you can go back there and look at the videos. All right. So tomorrow I will be answering your questions. So just sit tight and just listen to the simple things I'm just going to tell you, and we'll all be connecting tomorrow. Okay, let's continue. Now, when you get this, remember it will take you back to this box. This box is what makes your design look very, very realistic. It makes your design look very good. So when I go to this colorization, I have to, the reason why I always increase this colorization to black is to reduce the sun intensity and the reflection the interlocking gives back. Do you understand? The bouncing of the luminosity and the colors. So let's go to this colorization, and I'll have to increase it again. After this end, you can see that it's no more reflecting that too much light on it. And now, remember to increase your relief, okay? All right, to increase your relief, I'll be dropping my YouTube channel on my bio. Just you will see it, and it will be available from tomorrow till Friday before I'll change it back to my seller account. All right, so you get it there. Now the reflectivity, just increase it a bit, and the glossiness, just make sure you increase it again. The reason for this glossiness is just to just give it that feeling, because you know when you go to Lekki, when you go to all these designs, you will find this kind of like you are standing somewhere here, and you'll be noticing this kind of reflection. Not it reflecting too much, but it's gonna be reflecting. Now, another thing is for us to make this our interlocking look real, which is going to the map scale to increase it. In this map scale, this is where we increase the sizes of this interlocking for it to look real life like. Do you understand? Okay, so now this map scale, you keep going. Do you understand now? This is how it looks like. So when your car comes in, you can hear that sound of the interlocking, that grrr, you understand? So this is how it looks like. Okay, now we have gotten this. The next thing I just want to show you again, which is the white color. I know a lot of people will be like, hey, David, we already know this thing, but for beginners, you already know that when you import a white, like use your Archicad or Revit to import. Sorry, guys, most of my designs are done with Archicad. That's why Archicad is always on my mouth. But Revit, I always see you guys. I see you guys, please. So when you import with white color, especially what's the name, glossy whites, which I already used, you'll be noticing that the white color is there. The white color is there, but sometimes when you use the daytime rendering, just the ones which you can get from my seller account in my bio, when you click it, you don't even need to start stressing yourself on this edit which I'm talking about. You just put that preset in your Lumion, bam, your Lumion will just be going very fine. You don't have to start editing anything. You just have to edit your materials. So let's continue. When you use the daytime rendering, not the overcast, the daytime rendering, you will notice that the white, the sun hitting on the white color is making the white shout like as if somebody is beating it. That's because of you did not use the Lumion white color. So now to use the Lumion white color, click on it, yes, click on the outdoor and look for the plaster. Now under the plaster, just click on this number 3, which is the exterior walls. Now, after you're clicking it, you see something that looks like blue. My brother, this is not looking blue. This is looking white. Increase the white to the highest. Why do we use this? So that we can reduce the reflectivity that is followed by this white color. That's just the reason why we need to use the Lumion white. Or if you want, you can use the standard. So that's just what you have to do to get the best. Don't worry, tomorrow I'm going to show you a lot of things on how you can get the best out of your Lumion. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for joining with me. I see you, everybody. I see everybody, and thank you so much for being with me. See you tomorrow almost by this time. All right. See you tomorrow almost by this time. And if you have any question, don't forget to chat me up and I will let you know about it. Somebody's asking me Revit or 3D Max. This is done with Archicad to Lumion, right? Archicad to Lumion 12.5, not Revit or 3D Max. Thank you so much and see you guys tomorrow. You'll see me here by the same time, which is by 9 o'clock. I will be here tomorrow to start again. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Royal. So, Pills, what I always do is to show you the small tips which you can get the best out of your rendering. So now, for tomorrow, I'll be talking about the overcast rendering. So, in case you know how to use Lumion and you already have the overcast rendering effect, then tomorrow I'll show you how to get the best out of it. Like, let me say you have your overcast and you notice that when you use the lighting, the area light inside the house, and you notice it is flushing out, like the thing is shining outside, or you're noticing some wahala inside it. Let me go to so let me take you somewhere. Okay. Now you could notice that this is my area light, and instead of me putting it at the ceiling, I was placing it here. Don't worry, tomorrow I'm going to be showing you reason why this light is being placed here rather than being placed on the ceiling. Okay. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see you guys. I see you guys. Thank you so much. All right. See you. Bye. Cheers.